Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Exciting announcement for all of my listeners. I've officially opened my exclusive group, the ProjectME Passive Income Posse, to the public. This group is by application only, so we can keep the group high vibe and spend our time, energy, and expertise only helping those of you who truly want massive success and impact. You get live weekly trainings from me, special guest coaches, and direct access to me and my business partner for all of your questions. To learn more and apply, go to projectmewithtiffany.com, click on Work With Me, and select ProjectME Posse. And of course, any questions, feel free to DM me at ProjectMeWithTiffany. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and posse. I'm your host, Tiffany, and I know this episode is going to probably piss a few people off, and that's okay. I'm willing to piss some people off in order for you guys to hear the truth and learn what it is you need to learn and know in order for you to move the needle and make the changes you want in your life, call in the money you want in your life, the success you want in your life. If I piss people off along the way, then that's okay. And guess what? That's what a real friend actually does. Not just a coach, but a real friend. They're not afraid to even upset you by telling you the truth versus being afraid to upset you, so they just tell you what you want to hear. That's not a friend. That's actually called manipulation. P.S. All right. So what most manifestation coaches won't tell you, and the reason why they won't tell you is less important, but why you're not easily attracting abundance in your life, here's the thing. Most manifestation coaches that are out there, of course, I'm not saying all, but a majority, they focus on things like manifesting a parking spot, vision boarding, crystals, incense, dancing. I love all that crap too, as many of you know who follow my Instagram stories at ProjectME with Tiffany. Okay, I'm all about all those things and using mantras and card decks. But none of that stuff is going to call in what it is you deeply desire in your life if you don't work on the deep inner work and the thoughts that run most of your day and the stuff that is coming up at core that is in your subconscious. You cannot do a spiritual bypass and then end up manifesting the things you want in your life. So if you have not achieve the success, the relationship, whatever it is, the Prada bag that you really want in your life, the reason is you've not done this core work. It takes more time. It takes more energy. It takes more discipline and diligence, which is why people love to bypass it, which is why many people teaching manifestation don't go deep into that, because people just want to do fun, quick, easy things and then hope and pray that it works. You know, like manifest $3,000 in 30 days using these techniques. And it's like people want it fast. Well, anything that claims that you can do it really quick, I would be wary of. Like my father always said to me, if it sounds too good to be true, then it is. Now, I know that can sound kind of negative and like a statement that doesn't go along with someone who follows law of attraction principles, but I'm also a realist. Okay. So some of these things that are taught out there, you'll likely have some quick wins, okay? Because you are having some energetic proof, you have done a shift. But are they big wins? Are they sustainable wins? What we want for you, who's we, by the way? Like me and my other personality? I'm so weird. What I want for you is to be able to live a majority of the time in the energy of attracting abundance and in a powerful manifestor energy, or as my favorite modern manifestation teacher, Gabrielle Bernstein, calls it, super attractor energy. You're not going to be there all the time. Fun fact, you're a human being and you are designed to have all ranges of emotions and good days and bad days and not be perfect. It's not possible to stay high vibe all the time. And also, you don't have to be high vibe all the time in order to enter the powerful manifestor or super attractor zone. Not required, okay? It's just not. Believe me, the universe is well aware that you're a human being. So I want to give you some things and some tools today so you can start making these shifts. Again, what's the catch? I always tell you guys what the catch is. The catch is this takes more time. It takes diligence. It takes discipline. It takes mental energy. You have to be very aware of what you're doing and alert about it, and then be willing to take the extra minutes and take the actions to switch back into that zone of a powerful manifestor. This stuff isn't as fun as cutting out shit and putting it on a vision board or rubbing oils together and smelling them and doing a dance. I want you to continue doing all that stuff that makes you feel good. I'm all about all of that, but it's not going to get you in this zone consistently. And that's why you're not consistently attracting the cash, the people, the experiences, the life that you deserve and you desire. So let me help get you there. Also, because I am such a fan of Gabrielle Bernstein's latest book, Super Attractor, in my opinion, it's her best book to date. I've read all of her books, some of them twice. I'm doing a special giveaway with this episode because I so badly want you guys to read this book and be able to get into this zone. So I am giving this book to 3 lucky winners, and it's very simple what you need to do. Listen to the episode, which, by the way, you're obviously already doing. Take a screenshot of the episode and share it in Instagram stories and tag me. And the third thing is write a 5-star genuine written review on iTunes of the show, and make sure in that iTunes review you put your name or your Instagram handle, and then let me know that you've done it. Just DM me. I mean, reality is I'll know because you've done the screenshot, but I would DM me. So screenshot of this episode, share it, tag me, write a 5-star iTunes review, make sure you put your name or your Instagram handle in it, and then DM me and let me know that you've entered. And 3 lucky winners are going to get her amazing book, Super Attractor, delivered straight to your home. If you've already read it or you own the book, and you can still enter, and then you can gift this book to someone else, maybe a Mother's Day gift, a friend of yours, something like that. So I really am excited for you guys to read that. Okay, so let's go into how you are going to get in and best manage staying in this powerful manifestor state. I want you to be in a steady state of it. Again, not possible to be in it all the time. You're going to slip out of it. And then I want you to have the tools to be able to slide back in. So I'm going to use myself as an example so that you guys can see and your expectations will be set. Remember, I've been a student and a practitioner of the law of attraction and manifestation principles for 15 years. I've had a private guru, as he called himself. Some of you may refer to him as a coach for many, many years. And that's where I learned a lot through. But also, I've been a student in terms of taking courses and reading all the books. And most importantly, have put these principles into practice. And I've manifested things like the exact diamond ring for my engagement ring, the very house I'm sitting in, my podcast and its success, the amount of money I have in the bank, my trip to the Maldives last year. And that's just naming a few. There's other small things that I practice on that happen regularly as well. I feel like I truly manifested the taxes being due and that getting delayed. I feel I manifested that, but I think it was a collective manifestation of everybody who's a small business owner who really wanted that delay, and probably all the accountants out there. All right. So here's the thing. Let me read this quote from the book first, because I really want to set this tone so that you guys can understand where I'm going here. The more your mentality tends towards fear and lack, the further away you are from allowing solutions to come into your consciousness. Let me read that again. The more your mentality tends towards fear and lack, the further away you are from allowing solutions to come into your consciousness. Why I love this is it makes it clear in that the more you slip into focusing on what you don't have and what you wish you had and what isn't the case and what you hate and what you're lacking, you are pushing away any energetic form of abundance coming your way. Because what you're saying to the universe, to God, right? You are saying, I'm not grateful for what I have. And you're in a negative vibration. So you're not grateful for anything that's in front of you right now. So why would you give someone something else when they're currently not grateful for what they have? Now, I used to be afraid to express my gratitude for where I'm at because I thought if I acted and believed and embraced where I was at and I was so grateful for it, that I wouldn't be able to call something different in, because I thought then the universe, God, whatever you believe in, would go, well, Tiffany's so happy where she's at, so why we're not going to change anything. Not true. Not the case. You need to really find what it is you do have and what you are grateful for, and you'll be able to call in more things. And we all slip into fear and lack. You just need to be able to slide back in. What also happens when we are in a lack of appreciation for where we're currently at in our lives is it blocks our creativity. It blocks us from coming up with solutions to issues in our life. It blocks us from being able to getting divine downloads and hearing messages and hearing what, other experts might have to say. Or maybe you've been praying for a sign and wanting a sign and asking for divine guidance, and it doesn't seem to be clear and it doesn't seem to be coming. That is because you're blocking it with this fear and this lack. So the first thing you need to do is, I want you to work that muscle of, it doesn't have to be like, I'm so grateful, and you're like miserable. Because sometimes the word grateful grates on me. If I'm in a bad place, I want you to make a list. And sometimes I do this in my head too. It's better to write it down. But what it is you're appreciative about of these situations in your life, even though it's not where you want to be right now, but what can you appreciate about them today? So let's say you're in a ton of debt and you're like, what could I possibly appreciate about that? Well, maybe you can appreciate the fact that it's allowing you to take a look at your money mindset, and clearly it's broken and it needs to be worked on. And maybe it's also having you really showcase some poor spending habits that you make, and maybe some addictive qualities that you have towards buying things. And this is allowing you to take a look at it and to work on it and to make a change. Maybe you're in all this debt, so someday you can pay it forward and help others prevent, help prevent others from getting into this debt or to show others how to get out of it. If you are, single and lonely and miserable and don't know if you're ever going to find your person, or maybe you're with someone and you're feeling lonely and miserable, and all you do when you scroll online is see like the super happy couples and you wish you had that life. And I used to be in that zone as well. Instead of focusing on, again, what you don't have, what you long for, what you wish you had, what you're envious of, I want you to write down what you're appreciative of by the fact you are single and you don't have that relationship yet. Is it allowing you to learn more about yourself? Is it allowing you to build up your self-worth and your self-love? What about the fact of the freedom and you can watch whatever you want on TV and you can sleep by yourself and not get woken up in the middle of the night by someone snoring like me? Maybe it's that it allows you the freedom to, if you want to travel, you can go travel. There's a lot more time involved when you're in a relationship. If you're in a bad relationship or a relationship that's not fulfilling, well, what you could appreciate about that is we have to experience, this is the law of polarity. We have to experience things that we don't like and don't want in order to get very clear on what we do. Period. End of story. So you being in a relationship you're not satisfied with is helping you get crystal clear on what it is you exactly want so that you can manifest that into your life faster and with more clarity. This is true for business too. If you have clients and you're not loving the clients you have, instead of going, oh my God, I have the worst clients. All these people seem like they have better clients, blah, blah, blah. I wish I had these kind of clients. When you have a crappy clients, crappy boss, crappy coworkers, crappy friends, it's the law of polarity. It's helping you get much more clear on what it is you truly want and desire so you can call in those exact people and experiences you want in your life. So weird example, but I want you to show you can apply it to anything. So think right before the quarantine thing went down, I went to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. I'm glad we actually got to do at least a getaway. I have giveaway on my mind because of the book giveaway we're doing here. And I'm glad we did the getaway. It was not my happiest trip. The beaches were gorgeous. The actual property of the hotel was absolutely beautiful. With all due respect to any of my Dominican listeners or people who that's their home country, I'm sure I didn't experience the true nature of the local food because I hear it's great. The food at this hotel, and this, by the way, was like the nicest hotel there was in Punta Cana. Like, it wasn't cheap, okay? Like 5-star. Was the worst food I've truly ever had in my life. Everything was fried. There were no salads. There were no vegetables. Their version of a vegetable was potato. I couldn't believe it. Basically, it was a place for people to go to get obliviated, annihilated, drunk. And I'm all about having cocktails, but I don't need to get obliviated anymore. So it was a bunch of incredibly drunk, mini alcoholic rich people. I was so focused on all the things that I didn't like that I was shitting on my own trip. I wanted to leave. And at some point, thankfully, I think it did take me, to be honest, 2 days, but I did catch myself and I said, I need to start focusing on the beauty of this island and the weather and the fact I'm here and I get to relax and read and there isn't much to do. And that's great because I wanted a trip where I wasn't having to do anything. And I need to focus on that because continuing to focus on what I wish this was and what I wish the food was. And I can't believe, I wasted money taking us here and that money could have been put towards, another place that I know is amazing. I had to remind myself, this is the law of polarity. When you travel, that's the point of why it's called adventure. You're going to go to some places that you don't really like, that you wouldn't go back to. You're going to go to some places that were just okay, which means you probably wouldn't go back to. You're going to go to places you absolutely love and you can't wait to go back. That's why it's called an adventure. And now I can call in and be more clear about the types of trips and experiences I want to manifest in my life because I had the law of polarity, because I experienced something that was not a energetic vibrational match for me. And if I'm being really honest, I went back and looked at what my energy was when I was planning this trip, and it was frantic energy. And let me find another quote from this book that goes right along with it. And if you spaced out, this is Gabrielle Bernstein's latest book, Super Attractor. And I am giving away 3 of her books delivered directly to your door to 3 lucky winners. And all you have to do is take a screenshot of this episode you're already listening to and tag me at ProjectME with Tiffany. You need to write a 5-star, genuine written iTunes review. Make sure you include your name or your Instagram handle inside the review. And then just DM me and let me know that you have entered. And then I will be announcing the 3 winners on my Instagram stories on Sunday. So you'll also know in your DMs as well, but I am still going to announce those winners. Where is this exact quote I wanted to read? Oh my God. I had it right here. Well, you guys are just going to have to wait because it's so good while I find it. This is so important. And now I can't. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. The universe doesn't respond as well to frantic energy. Rather, the universe vibrates at a positive frequency, and to co-create with it, your energy must align with that frequency. I'm going to read it one more time. The universe doesn't respond as well to frantic energy. Rather, the universe vibrates at a positive frequency, and to co-create with it, your energy must align with that frequency. So when I booked this trip, I was in a frantic energy. That's another thing when you call in experiences, people, places, and things into your life that you do not like. I also want you to, in addition to saying what you're appreciative about that, okay, I want you to reflect on when you accepted that job offer, when you were job hunting, when you were, bringing on new clients, when you met that significant other. I want you to look at your energy then and try to remember, if you can, what kind of state were you in? My guess is you were in some kind of frantic, fear-based, lower vibration energy, because what do I always say? Like attracts like. So I was in a frantic, low vibe state. I remember when I took a few minutes to really think about it, when I was booking that trip, I kept saying to Mike, I've got to get away. I've got to book a trip. I need a break. I've got to book a trip. I got to book a trip, because I was coming off of my launch of my Selling with Soul course. And I was just pouring so much out that my cup felt very empty. And I was almost desperate. I was desperate for a recharge, which I don't recommend getting in that spot. But again, I'm human. It happens. And so we ended up going somewhere and a trip being booked and money being spent, which is a powerful currency, money being spent when I'm in this frantic energy. And really, when we're in that energy, we're also not hearing those little voices, those little signs, or listening to how our body feels, or that gut instinct, our intuition that we have, our inner guide. When we're in that frantic, fear-based energy or a low vibe energy, we don't hear those things very well. And I'm going to be straight up. I did have some reservations about this trip. A fun little random travel hack. I always go on Instagram and type in the name of the city that I'm looking to visit, especially if it's not something where, I have a lot of friends who've been there, whose opinions I trust and that kind of thing. And I look at their photos. I want to see real people's photos, not Instagram influencers, but real people's photos. And it helps give me an idea, a little bit of the trip. And it helps, I can feel vibes through a screen, as I'm sure many of you empaths can relate. And so I wanted to feel the vibe. The vibe did not feel luxurious to me. And I am someone who I love luxury travel. You are not going to see me roughing it. I shouldn't say never, but like I don't camp, for example. No. Would I go glamping? Perhaps. Maybe. I don't know. Would I probably need wine? Definitely. But I love luxury travel. I didn't always have the money to have luxury travel, but when I was traveling before I had that money, and I'm sitting in the back of the plane in some cramped ass middle seat, I remember saying, like, calling in because I was in a state of what I didn't want. I wanted to be in first class. I wanted to have all the amenities. I wanted to be able to stay at the best hotel, not just the hotel that I could afford or that was in budget. So I practiced these techniques I'm teaching you today to be a powerful manifestor, to be a super attractor. And I was appreciative that I could at least travel, because there were people who couldn't even at least travel, that I had the guts and the bravery to travel as a single woman. Even though like I traveled with friends, I also traveled a lot alone. So that I had that adventurous spirit and was able to do it, and that I had enough money to be even able to do it at that level. It's not like I was staying in like youth hostels. Like it was still, B minus, C plus. So I was appreciative of where I was at, but I was also had to experience that in order to know what I really wanted. And I remember the first time I traveled with a friend of mine who was older than me and very experienced in knowing the travel game and how to get upgrades. And he taught me this whole upgrade game. I'm amazing at getting first class upgrades for free, or for just a little extra money. And he taught it to me, which is it's an art, believe me. I mean, I've taken years to finesse this thing. And I remember when I got to sit in like an international business class, which international business class, by the way, is far more luxurious than like domestic first class. You have a lay flat seat, you're in a cocoon, they give you champagne and multiple course dinners and wine pairings, and it's just fabulous. Now, I'm not someone who loves plane travel. I like just getting to the destination. But if you're, part of your trip is being on that damn plane, especially if you're going far away. So I want that part to be luxurious too. So when I got to experience it for the first time, I remember saying, I'm never flying any other way except business or first class ever again. Not happening. And you know what? I never did. The only time I fly coach now, and it's not even coach, it's like the highest level coach, like economy plus or whatever, is if it's just like, a 2-hour flight or even a 3-hour flight. I'm not going to use my points or pay cash to, spend $4,000 on something like that. Like, mama's good with her money. But I wanted to give you some examples so you guys could see how that looked like in real life, so you can apply it for yourself. You can even do it with things like wanting more time, especially you moms that are listening who are homeschooling and working and trying to take care of yourselves and cook 5,000 meals and you're over it. And maybe it's what you're craving is like, God, I just want some alone time. I want some self-care time. You still need to practice writing the list of what you are appreciative about in your current situation, even though you're burnt out, you're exhausted, you're annoyed, you're tired. You need to find somewhere where there's an appreciation for where you're currently at. Maybe it's the fact that like you do have kids. Not all of us can bear children, Maybe it's the fact that you do have a crazy busy family. And there's also other people out there, me, who have no blood family. I have one living relative, you guys. Like, I've never met one other person like that. And if you're listening to the show and you only have one other living relative, you must DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany, because I need to know who you are. because I have never met one other person in that situation. My mom's an only child and my dad's an only child, which is very rare. And so that's part of how I don't have, aunts, uncles, cousins, that kind of thing. And both of my parents had me much later in life. So any of their, if you want to do the whole second cousin twice removed thing, a lot of those, those people are dead. So crazy. But find something you're appreciative about in that situation. Remind yourself of the law of polarity. Like, okay, thank you, universe. You're showing me exactly what doesn't fulfill me, what isn't working for me, and what I don't want for my life. So now I can be really clear what I do want. So I want you to write it down. What is it you specifically do want? And don't hold back. That 20, what was I, 25? I feel like I was 25 or 26 years old when I said that statement of, I'm not going to fly anything other than business or first class ever again, for trips that are like longer than 3 hours. I was making decent money, but I wasn't making enough money to be this like luxury first class traveler. So what? I knew I was confident I would figure out a way and the universe would help me, whether, it was through points, it was through discounts. There's so many different ways, through getting free upgrades, through vouchers, and it all happened, you guys. But I had to be crystal clear and unapologetic about what I wanted. I wasn't wishy-washy. I was specific, and I stayed in that energy. And also before I would go and like book a trip, let's say I was gambling. That's what I call it with the airlines. Like I was gambling. I didn't want to do a guaranteed upgrade and use all my points. So I kind of wanted to gamble and use my status, which means it's not a guarantee because if someone has higher status than you, which there's usually always someone who does, unless you live on a fucking plane, that they would get it. So when I'm gambling, instead of going, God, in fear, like, God, I hope I get first class. I don't want to sit and coach for this trip. It's such a long trip. Oh, that'd ruin my vibe. I really want first class. I don't want to sit and coach. I have to turn that over to the universe and say, I trust you, universe, that it's going to happen exactly how it's supposed to happen. I'm going to be sitting exactly where I'm supposed to be sitting on the plane for whatever reason. And I am sure, I just can't recall it at the top of my head right now. I am sure there have been times where I've gambled on that first class and I didn't get it. I just don't recall it because it's so few. And I bet you anything, right? It happened to keep me humble. So there's my appreciation in it, to keep me humble and to stay and to be grateful and extra appreciative of how I get to travel now, which is, luxury travel, because we can forget when we have things so nice for so long. It's just amazing how quickly we can forget how crappy it was before. And it makes us more grateful for what we do have. So sometimes the universe is going to give you a dose of some shit that you thought was long gone or that you're not calling in. I mean, I've gotten some wackadoodle clients. I've hired some really dishonest employees to where I'm like, oh my God, how did I not see this? This is crazy. But it's a reminder for me to stay even more grateful for the people who work for me and the clients I have that are amazing, and for me to reinforce and redefine and be extra clear about what it is that I do want. So I hope that you guys really found this exercise to be really helpful. I hope you guys see the kind of stuff that you really have to do in order to stay in that steady state of a powerful manifestor, a super attractor. You will slip out of it, and then you need to slide back. But only you can do that. And it takes discipline and mental energy to slide back. And you have to have awareness and catch yourself. Look, that trip I just explained to the Dominican, I didn't really catch myself. I caught myself 2 days into the trip. I still spent, I don't know, $8,000, $9,000 on the damn trip. So it's not like I got that money back. I spent $8-9 on the trip. I still booked the trip. I still went on the trip. And 2 days in, I had to, I caught myself and turned it around. So, and I've been practicing this for a long time. You're not always going to catch it, but whatever it was supposed to be, it was supposed to be. And I can't remember the last time I went on a trip where I really didn't like it. And I had to kind of laugh at myself because look at all, I don't even know, countless countries, 40 plus, 50 plus countries. I've been in so many different cities, different countries. And it's like, I've always been able to take away, like maybe I wouldn't go back, but I still found some great things I liked about it. I just might not have loved it. I can't remember the last time I went somewhere where I really, really didn't like it. I didn't vibe with it. So it's bound to happen because when you try new things, not everything's going to be amazing. And it was a reminder to me what it made me do. And it made, Mike as well. I'm very deeply connected to Turks and Caicos. It's like, it truly is my favorite island beach setting of anywhere I've been in the world. Maldives, don't get me wrong, totally worth it and incredible. It's just really freaking far away. But something that's like closer, at least, to the US, Canada, Turks and Caicos, I just love. And it made me have even further appreciation for other more remote, other places I've been to that are even more remote that bring in such amazing, healthy, quality food. My issue was the lack of food that was healthy and, plant-based. And I don't always eat perfect, but I eat healthy. And the food in the Maldives was some of the most spectacular food I've had in the world. And we were in the middle of the Indian Ocean. They made sure they got it there. They also grew it right on the damn island. So it made me more appreciative of these other experiences I've had. So that was supposed to happen for a reason. Did I really want to have to spend $8-9 to learn that? Not really, but you know what? The universe knows about me and God. They both know how powerful money is. And when we have to learn lessons, a lot of times we learn them and money is involved because that makes them really sink in. Whether it's, oh my God, I can't believe I wasted $50 on that. Or it's some much bigger expense. This is how it really sets in because of the powerful energy of money. Of course, I wish it wasn't that way, but I trust that it had to be that way for a specific reason. You guys, don't forget, take a screenshot of this episode that you're already listening to, tag me on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany, head over to iTunes and write a 5-star written review of the show, include your name or your Instagram handle in the review, and then simply DM me on Instagram and say, I just entered the giveaway. And I'll know exactly what you mean. And I'm picking 3 winners and I'm going to gift you with Gabrielle Bernstein's book, Super Attractor. You guys are going to so much love this book. If you're like, Tiff, I'm on an Android device. I can't do it. Yes, you can. It doesn't matter. You can write an iTunes podcast review, even if you don't have an iPhone or an Apple computer. If you don't know how to write a review, which, by the way, the first time I did it, I didn't know how either. It's not freaking obvious, which is very annoying. It should be. Just Google it like anything else. How do I write an iTunes podcast review? And there are like amazing, very quick, step-by-step instructions. And it should not take you anything longer than 90 seconds. So there's no reason for you guys not to do it. So excited to gift you with this amazing giveaway. Happy manifestations. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you guys. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.